Well, good morning, and you've joined me today at Messingham Sands for round one of the bomb and feeder league throughout the winter. And I'm sure that for those of you that follow me a bit, alright, who's ringing me? Look, for those of you that follow me know that this isn't a regular venue for me, but I'm really looking forward to it. Somewhere different, and I've drawn Hollywood Bowl. I've been to Messingham quite a few times. I've not fished it for the last 5 years, but when I've come I've had some good days. But I've fished on the bigger lakes like Swan and Island, but this is a newer lake, and it looks absolutely lovely. And I've come a bit late because of traffic, and I've drawn the M peg 72 with the wind blowing down here. There's a few fish topping. I'm really looking forward to it. As I say, change of scenery, but also I'm sure I'm going to get some bites today, so I thought I'd do a nice video because the fish has been difficult recently, and it's been hard to film a day where I'm actually getting bites all the time. So hopefully today will be different and better. So a nice simple approach. It's about 20 meters wide, so because I have not fished it before, I've got an idea of what I'm going to be doing. You can see there's a few fish topping right down there, but I don't really want to venture down there if I don't have to. But I know that I'm going to have to expand down the bank as the day goes on if it's fishing a bit difficult. If it's fishing well, I'm sure the fish will come up towards me, but because I'm an MPEG, I think I should get a few fish. You can actually hear the fish topping, you know, there's a lot of fish down here. So a nice simple approach. I'm going to be fishing a little hybrid feeder. I've done some fishery micros. I've got some sweet corn for loose feeding down the middle and some fishery pellets, 6mm pellets. Hook bait wise, speedy washers, and then rod choice. I'm using mainly the 10-foot precision Aero X7. Now this is absolutely perfect for this style of fishing where I'm not sure what size fish I'm going to be catching. Quite a few small carpy size, you know, let's say 3 to 6 pound stamp. This is perfect for that kind of scenario. Aero XR 5000 reel, little mini hybrid feeder there, you can see that there. And then my other rod I've got set up for the bomb and corn down the middle, Aero X7 again. And basically I've set up 3 method rods with the same feeder for working my way down that bank on different clips, so I can rotate the swims if I need to. If it's good fishing, I can just chuck it in one spot and catch. If it's hard fishing, I'm going to have to rest lines and go further down into fresh areas where they're backing away. But let's see what happens. And also this edge line here looks really nice, so that's my plan. Let's see what happens. Just needed to be in that slightly deeper water, so that shows the difference. I've just chucked it a metre off the bank. Obviously it shows how shallow it is against that far bank, and I've got a bite straight away. So there's fish down there, but I'm just going to put the feeder in the right depth of water. and those pellets over the top definitely is drawing more fish into that area, making that little bit of noise. Have you had out? Have you had out? Yeah.
Well done, pal.
£53, mate.
Oh, where on? 12 straight. How they done around you? Have you kissed it with that?
Who's not? Matty Kelly's done 6 minutes.
How was it out?
Yeah. No, the seniors. I think 2, 4, 5, 6, 7,
51 2. Claiming £70.
Cheers, pal. What's your name?
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
A few more in this one.
Actually, it's about the same. I think so. Might be right.
Like some fucking 23.9. Thank you. 14.11. 94, 95 pound next one.
£89.6.
Maybe.
You've been down a trip to do one bit.
Great way of weighing fishing, that, isn't it?
29.13.
Just no harm to them whatsoever, is there?
Nope.
But there's only certain places you could do it because it banks, isn't it? You know what I mean?
They've got an island around you now. Or Swan.
I don't know, Swan's fished hard.
Has it?
Yeah. In parts it has, whether other people have had fish like.
Good estimation, that one.
I won't be far off. 60, 65. 29.11, about now, 58 short. 58, 59.
So, the Bomb and Feeder League at Messingham. I mean, all these events, Bomb and Feeder events, are so good this time of year. In our area alone, we got Lindholme, we got Messingham, Hawcroft Fisheries. You know, there's loads of venues now running these kind of events, and everyone loves them. And that's why it's popular. I think there was 65 on it today, so a great turnout. Like what I said in the intro, don't really know the venue, and especially the newer lakes, Hollywood Bowl, Hollywood Strip. That was the first time I've actually seen them. And I was lucky enough really to draw the MPEG, so it suited kind of like how I fished, Lindholme style, little feeder work, bomb work. It was an MPEG. It was evident to see that I was going to catch at least a few fish. However, it was hard work. You know, it wasn't like just MPEG, sit down and catch a few. It was a very, very hard day. No one was catching anything really, and I just decided to fish away from the bank a little bit rather than chucking the feeder tight against the vegetation, because it felt so shallow against that far bank. And I've just had to kind of like what we call pepper the far bank, which is not chuck my feeder in exactly the same spot all the time, just like work up and down the shelf and working down my peg lengthwise, because it was only, I reckon it was between 18 and 19 metres wide, and when it's that narrow and it's not fishing brilliant, the fish don't really want to feed. They just back away from the noise of especially a feeder going in. And this is why your wider areas seem to hold a few more fish. So I knew in the back of my mind, in order for me to stand a chance of getting a decent weight from there, I had to work in different areas. It wasn't a case of clipping up and fishing one spot all day and hoping they arrived. They were very moody fish. So, and that's basically what I did. I just peppered the far bank using the 10-foot rod, little mini hybrid feeder, and then I've loose fed some corn and pellets down the inside. And I've had 4 fish off that, but they were worth catching. You know, they were a better stamp, not as many bites. As I say, I've only had 4 bites, and that was, I didn't get a sign down the margin until the last hour, and then I've had 4, but quite intermittent 4, where I'd get 1. I couldn't then sit on my hands the next chuck in knowing that it's going to go around. It just never happened. So it was a case of dropping on my margin, hopefully getting a bite within 5 minutes, and if it doesn't, come off it and leave it for another 10 minutes and then try it again. And that's how I caught my edge fish. So quite an enjoyable day, because I had to think about where I fished, especially in that last hour. And I've ended up winning that side of Hollywood Bowl with £89, which is one section, which is good because the league's on points. And I learnt a lot as well. And as soon as the match finished, I also drove around and had a look at the other side. And you can see why the other bank seems to be a little bit better, because as far as I can see anyway, you know, that it's definitely wider. And there just seems to be a few more hiding spots for the fish on the other bank, where it is wider and a bit more cover. So I right enjoyed it, and I'm just getting my head around the venue, especially in the winter. Never really fished it in the winter. But I'm looking forward to the campaign, let's call it, you know, the league on a Wednesday, not fishing Hawcroft for a change, which usually fish in the league that Alan Taylor runs, but he's not running it. And this is why I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to Messingham for a change. So I think I was 5th overall in the match. So that's good, put me in good stead for the start of the league. Let's see what happens in the next round in a couple of weeks' time.